Welcome everybody to another episode of Hearts of Iron 4. Today we will be playing a minor nation. The last time we played the Soviet Union, and while it was great fun, it does bear the problem that it is the Soviet Union. So we did arguably play the strongest country in the world. We weren't when the war started, just because of all the bony the AI got from the sliders, but it's still an incredibly strong country. What we'll do is we will play as Denmark, and Denmark is one of the hardest countries to play at, I believe. In reality, they fought for I think 1 hour, so it's not in a particularly good position. I originally wanted to do Bulgaria, but the Death and Dishonor DLC will land this month, and it will focus on Hungary, Bulgaria, and Romania, and maybe Czechoslovakia and Austria. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know about those three. And so how about we save these for when Death and Dishonor drops? We will jump right in with Veteran on Armor mode. I am not 100% certain if I will keep playing on Armor mode in future playthroughs, just because this is the second time I'm playing Denmark. I've did it before, but I've lost one of the videos. It was actually a short video. I've lost like 15 minutes, but it was very intense 15 minutes, and we're at a very different place after them than before. So I didn't feel comfortable uploading it. So I will have to do it again, and I'm not gonna have the luck that I had in that playthrough. Because what happened the last time, which probably is not going to happen, is Germany literally lost all its units in Norway. It just naval invaded, and I was able to cut them off. It naval invaded Norway, and I was able to cut them off from the port. And it had like 150 units stuck in Norway, and they just all died. I think I still have that, and I want to cut that somehow together, because that is just a symbol of what is wrong with naval invasions right now. It was great because even Italy sent troops in a naval invaded up here in order to re-establish supply, and it ended up with the Italian troops dying as well. And after Norway, so in like 1940, without the Soviet Union, I think Germany had lost about 3 million people, and Italy 1.7 million. It was dumb, because this meant, as Denmark, I walked through here and I didn't have any resistance. But simultaneously, it was a fun video. But that's all gone now. We will jump in here, and because, as I said, I've played this before, though the enemy was handicapped, I will go over the strengths and weaknesses that I've found during my first let's call it let's play, though I'm not uploading it, so it's more a playthrough than a let's play, but I was talking. Let's just go through these. I'm not going to pick anything just yet. We're starting with Infantry Weapons 1. We're starting with Support Equipment, the two that I want. I'd like to have the Field Hospital, but I don't have the production for motorized. So I think I'm going to have to skip on that. We do start with the artillery, and that's just about what... We have some boats, but we're never going to build them. We have the fighter, but we're never going to build it. And this is all normal. So, very standard, but we're not behind on anything. It's not like we don't have infantry equipment 1 or something. About our factories, we have, at this point, 11. But 3 of them are traded away. So we are actually only at 8 factories. 2 of them are naval dockyards, which I don't care about. So you see, we are very, very low on factories. And for reasons I'll get into, the promise we won't be able to boost that much. We do have the dockyards. We have the complete box standard national Foki. About the position of our military, we have 7 outdated ships, of which 5 are outdated submarines. We have 5 units, but if you look at it, only 3 are normal units. 1 is this Binaire division, I think it's called. and we have the cavalry. The templates for this, we have decent, though not great, infantry template. We have this smaller template, and we have completely useless cavalry template. We do have a general who's a level 3 with reconnaissance, and we do not have an admiral. We have 34 planes. They are outdated fighters. So that's the position of the country. And we have 3.9 million approximately recruitable population. So what are the problems and the weaknesses of this country? The biggest problem / weakness of this country is Germany to its south. We will be drawn into the war because we will stay democratic. I think it's kind of cheap if you go Denmark and you just go fascist and join Germany. That's we do. So Germany attacking us and 39 for early 40 is definitely a problem, because they will have approximately 200 divisions and will have approximately 10. So they'll outnumber us about 20 to 1. The second problem, in my opinion, is the manpower. We can kind of salvage our economy to the point where we can arm the people we have. The problem is we don't have enough people to defend everything. And the next part is we don't have any resources. Oh, we do have some aluminum, but it's aluminum. It's not the thing we need the most. We need steel. And we'll be importing steel in horrendous amounts, and steel and tungsten, because those two you need for infantry, for artillery, and for support equipment. We'll be importing this, but again, we barely have any factories to trade away, so that's a problem. The next problem we're having is that the UK does not protect our airspace. We are in an airspace with Western Germany, so Germany will obviously have a lot of fighters here, a lot of bombers, a lot of everything, because it's part of its home airspace. This is deadly for us. We will be constantly bombed. And while we do have some countries up here, we cannot build in Greenland, we cannot build in the Faroe Islands. And while we can build a little bit in Iceland, its infrastructure is complete garbage. And here's the infrastructure at start of 10, which means building here is extremely slow. And because we have so few civilian factories, building in a region that is slow is not really an option. So all of this technically isn't with us. So things look grim. Oh, and one more very bad thing about Denmark is it's got too many naval ports. We have 4 ports that can be invaded. Now, and Germany does that now. I didn't know that, but Germany not naval invades Denmark, and it does so quite heftily. Like the last time when I played, there was naval invasion like once every, I don't know, per month there would be multiple ones. Now that we know all that, what are our strength? Our strength is not so much. I mean, because we're staying democratic, we have to go down this tree, which is useless. It's the worst of the 3. The interventional focus I'm not even going to talk about, because this just increases volunteers, and I don't think anyone in the history of Hearts of Iron has overtaken it. This one, the neutrality focus, means we cannot declare war or join factions. So we cannot even indirectly declare war, like join England in the war against Germany. We can live with that because of Germany declaring war on us. The problem with that, of course, is that Germany is declaring the war on us, we're not on it. So Germany chooses the time, so we will have units on our borders. And this will be important when I talk about the strategy we will follow. So this is kind of bad, but we do have this tree. Unfortunately, we do not get the military youth and the militarism, which is always nice, but we'd have to go fascist, and again, I'm not going fascist with this. The one saving grace Denmark has is its landscape. And even this is, I'm not too happy with it, because if you look at the border where the main fighting is going to be, it's just plains. It's just plains. It's not even a forest or something. I could fall back here, but then he could move towards, like, if you go from Germany to our capital, it's plains, 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 plains. So, by the way, our national unity is enough that we will survive if we only hold Copenhagen. Though this is not really our possibility, because if you only hold one region, and the enemy attacks, whenever a unit would usually retreat and join the fight a little bit later again, this unit will be destroyed. So it is not really viable to defend just one region. However, we do have this one region right here in Odense. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Which is an amazing position to defend. And I will explain why it is amazing, and then I will explain why I'm not going to do it. Actually, I'll start with the one not going to do it. It is too good to defend. And if you ask me, it just makes it boring. Because all we would do is sit here and wait till like 42, 43. Until Germany is encroached from all directions, and then we'd push out. We'll still kind of do that, but if you do it in Odense, it's too easy. You just build up this on level 10, right? There's no way Germany could ever do anything against it. It can only attack from two directions. It has to cross a strait into a level 10 fort. I'd argue you can probably defend that with just the units you start with in the beginning. Now that we've said all that, excuse me. I'm going to explain why Odense is also the most amazing place to defend. Besides the fact that the enemy can never attack, you also can give up 2 of these naval ports. So the only places you would have to defend is this and this. This is the capital, so you will be defending it anyway, and this is your front line, so you will be defending it anyway. So you wouldn't even have to really defend your ports anymore. And last but not least, because this is a naval port, even if the enemy would land here, he would not cut off units here from supply, but they could still be supplied via Copenhagen. So holding Odense is an amazing decision. And we're not going to make it, because it's too easy. What we will do is it will not give up Jutland, because I feel like a country that gives up 2/3 of its land at the beginning, like just when the war starts, that's a bit too gamey, even for me, and I love gamey tactics. I'm gonna make like videos on the most gamey things I know, like taking UK in 1936 or something as Sweden, something like this. But this is a bit much. So instead we will defend here. An argument could be made that this place should be taken, because the enemy would have to cross this stream. And I would agree with that. This is if you get here and you get to build some land forts here, we're in a good position. However, because we cannot join the war on our own terms, Germany will have units here, and even if we can throw them out, the problem will be that we'll be standing here with non-entrenched units right after we get there, and we will have no forts. So Germany will just attack us from 2 directions, and there's very little we could do to hold it, because we can't build up the forts while we are defending. So even if we would hold out for like a year, we wouldn't have a single fort after this year, and we'd just bleed out manpower, we just bleed out everything. Instead, what we're going to do is we'll build both of these up to as high forts as we can. If you look at these, you can see that only this one can be attacked from both of these. This one can only be attacked from one direction, so we need less forts here than we do here, right? So I will try to get this up to like level 8 maybe, and this one to like level 6 maybe, something like this. We'll try our best. We do need to garrison our naval ports, and from there on we'll just have to pray. Do not understand me wrong. Get me wrong. This is. I think I have all the achievements. I think I'm missing one of the achievements. I'm not entirely sure. And I'm not going to check now because then you can see like my friends list and everything, and I don't want that. I've done a lot of things, and I'd argue that this is the hardest thing I've done so far. It really is. The last time I did this, I was sweating. Like when I just prepared for this, and I lost it, as I told you. It was tough. Even though Germany basically lost all its units, I was still fighting like crazy. It was still absolutely insane. So, assuming this doesn't happen again, which I am going to assume, because I think that was just a one-off kind moment, this is going to be very tough. I will set up the country now, the way I like it. And I think then we might just call it a first episode. I like the first episode a little bit shorter because it's all these explanations and all this rambling. So I might start gameplay in the second episode, besides the setup period. So we'll just go through this. For industry, we go completely standard. I would advise everyone to always start like this. I'm gonna get one factory here. I'm not gonna build anything up here because of the low infrastructure. I'm gonna set this to convoys. I don't need any ships. I will never ever beat Germany on the high seas. And I do need the convoys because I need to trade, and Germany might sink everything. I will set up. This factory will be producing towed artillery for me. I will go the industrial route down, and I will be importing steel but not oil, because the oil is only needed for my convoys, and I don't need convoys that much. I will change all my units to the infantry division. I will move them up, and I will give them an attack order so they get the preparation bonus. It doesn't matter where, because we'll never execute this attack order. I will let him guard this, but I will... I don't have... yeah, we will make, by the way, fallback lines on our naval bases. For the single reason we have a naval base here, and if we let the AI do defending and we select this region to be defended, the AI will send soldiers to this naval base, and they will just be murdered by Germany in the water. So again, this will be a short episode for the single reason that this will be the setup period, and then from the second episode on we'll start playing. I hope you liked this. I hope you understand it. I hope you understood it and I made kind of sense, and I will see you for the actual gameplay in the second episode. Have a good one.